Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of June 7th, 2021. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Iridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Every week, we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week, we are complaining about kids and pop culture, and singing the praises of our dads. We're also taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today, we are talking about some unexpected life skills that maybe schools should be preparing kids for. You know, when my kids were in high school, some kids on their special education track were taking cooking classes and taking, just sort of running a household type of classes. I know my son took a finance class that was supposedly showing you how to balance your checkbook and stuff like that. And those are all good. But those are things also that I feel that I could teach my kids myself. What I would like for schools to teach in their life skills classes, and this goes for colleges too, is self-advocacy. And specifically, when your insurance company bleeps you over and you have to call and yell and keep yelling until somebody fixes it, how do you do that? Because right now, the way my kids do that is tell me about it, and then I call and yell at them. And while it's generally effective, it takes a lot out of me, And really, I would like to be delivering this. I would like them to be capable of doing it. And yet when I think of how do you teach them that, okay, when somebody says no, if they say it in a certain tone of voice, it's not really no, it's something else, and you got to push. When do you yell at a person? When do you not yell at a person? If you're talking to this person, is this person responsible and therefore you can get mad at them? Or do you know that really you should get mad at somebody else and you should be sweet to this person? There's all sorts of dynamics to it, which I don't know how I learned them. I don't know if I knew them or I gained them. I certainly gained and sharpened them during advocating for my kids in school. I learned lots of tricks. But I think we've talked about this before. The kids don't know how to do this. But if somebody else other than me could teach them, that'd be groovy. And if I could therefore stand down, pass my mama bear cloak to the next generation.
Right.
What are they
It makes me think of those commercials. I think it's Geico, right? Where he teaches how not to become your parents.
Yeah. In this case, I want to teach them to become me.
Right.
Except without the anxiety and blood pressure, but which may be necessary parts. But there are certain negotiation techniques that you use when you are trying to navigate a difficult situation.
Right.
I had a situation with my daughter's insurance recently that I don't think she could have understood what the problem was. I think she would have just said, okay, and hung up before they figured out what was wrong. And I just sort of know to say, no, that's not right. Please check again. No, that's still not right. Please, here's what seems to be wrong. And eventually they found out what was wrong. Then they, of course, have taken forever to fix it. But that's a whole nother rant.
Right.
Although knowing when to call back and be a nuisance, and how to word your angry Twitter post that will get their Twitter people to come back to you. These are all skills. That's one life skill I wish somebody other than me would teach to my kids. I will teach them to cook. I will teach them to make their beds. I will teach them to balance their checkbooks. Somebody else tell them how to get what they deserve from a recalcitrant service or store. You guys have some things you wish that somebody would teach your kid to do other than you? Some valid, vital life skill?
I will report one way that my daughter did learn a little bit of this was working, in customer service type position.
So she's the person that people yell at. And so she got knowledge from that?
She got like a taste. So she used to work at our library and, they started doing curbside pickup during the pandemic, right? So you could, check out books online and then you go to the library and you pull into a parking space, a designated spot, and then you call and you say, okay, I'm here and I'm in this spot. And then they bring you your books.
Wow.
And so she spent a lot of time being the one who had to answer the phone, talk to the person, find their books, bring them out. And so it really made her much more able to talk to anyone on the phone because she had to do that so much. And yeah, how to deal with people who were sometimes unreasonable, like the person who wanted their books that they had put on hold like 7 months prior. And she had to say, well, we only hold them for 7 days, not 7 months. And, then the person gets all mad. Is like, well, because she says you can check them out again. You can place them on hold again. Well, I don't know what they were. Like, and you expect me to know, so she really got some experience with that. So that I think has been very helpful. She's more willing to make the phone call when she needs to. So
yeah, well, it's good to know what the person on the other end of the line is dealing with, so you can advocate effectively.
Right.
I try, but sometimes I lose my temper.
Right.
But that could be a unit in the life skill class of self-advocacy by phone.
How to do it without losing your temper.
That's right, and and how to role playing, being the person on the other side of the phone,
right?
So that they can see what those people are up against. I do not envy them the job.
Right, it's tough. So yeah, but in terms of other things, laundry. Like my kids do laundry, and how I have a thing about laundry, but. They come to me with questions like, how do I wash this? What should I do about that? And I'll answer them. But, that and any kind of like home repair or just little tasks like that, like how to Google it and how to find the right information. Like, you can look up anything on YouTube and somebody will show you how to do it, but will it be right? Will it be good? How do you sort through that? And I think they get a little bit of that in school in terms of what's a reliable source, basically.
Yeah.
But that's more for academic information. So,
right.
Can you trust the plumber who posts on YouTube?
Just really how to fix things around the house would be a great class. I mean, I know at least in our school system, they've pretty much done away with wood shop. They've pretty much done away with auto shop. But if they wanted to, still use those classrooms and make them a how to do simple fixes around your house class, or a how to, fix easy things on your car, or be able to describe them in a useful way to a mechanic.
Yeah.
Those would be great. And then I would just turn those things over to my kids altogether.
Right.
Maybe they need a night school class on that for adults.
Right.
Because there's some things you can Google and that's great. But I feel like so much of the time, this big structure that is my responsibility, I am in no way up to caring for properly. So those would be good skills to give kids.
Right.
If they wanted to learn how to clean up after me too, that'd be good. Organization skills. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Look around your house, see how much bleep your mom has sitting around on surfaces. Here's how to make sure that never happens to you.
Yeah, I feel like some kids or some people are sort of naturally have that ability to organize things and and declutter or whatever, and other people do not.
My mother is a pro.
It is a personality thing, because it's like technically I know how to not be this way, but I still am.
Yeah. Well, my kids are, I don't know, it's been a struggle, as I was a lot more independent at a younger age than what they were or are. So, I a lot of life skill stuff I picked up, because I started working earlier. I started, I was away from home for a year when I was 16. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I did years before what they've done it. So I kind of was stressed, like, as my kids are getting older, thinking, oh my goodness, I've got to know this, I've got to know that, because, I knew that, and I had to do this, and I had to do that. So I probably went a little bit too overboard with it, because now whenever I say, can you do, or can I speak to you about, my kids run and hide. Because they know it's going to be some big...
avoiding uncomfortable conversations with mom.
Yeah. Like, for example, well, and case in point, last night at the dinner table, I mean, it's not the most opportune time. I know that. I should choose better. But I never see her. She's always at work, or she's never around. The only time I see her is when she's at the dinner table. But I was telling my daughter last night, like, we need to just, discuss, sit down and figure out what this coming year is going to look for you financially, and because I'm trying to give her more responsibility in terms of paying tuition, et cetera, et cetera. And she was like, can't we just text? Can't you just message me? Like, no, I don't work that way. No, please. I said, I just need like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just want to make sure that you know how to pay your tuition and all that kind of stuff. Right. And she's just like, oh gosh, why do you put me through this? Like, because you need to know, right? I mean, because that's the other thing too. I mean, I bought my first car when I was 18, and I paid for everything, the registration, everything, getting repaired and stuff, right? So it's just stuff that I stress, and I think, oh my gosh, they need to know about this. My son has learned, because he moved out a lot sooner than what she did, but so he's kind of learned along the way and through jobs. But yeah, she's getting there. Having a job has certainly helped, though, I have to say. Like, having just that, and she's in customer service too, in a way, because she does helpline or help desk for her office. So she gets a lot of stuff. Well, they're all complaining when they call the help desk.
She's the one who's like, did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
Yes, exactly. They all complain. Help desk is never oh, hi. So
I want to tell you, you're doing a great job.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. But I do stress about it. And probably more than what I should. Over stuff I probably shouldn't stress about, but...
Yeah.
No, that's in the job description, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can teach our kids how to podcast if they want to know.
Hey, there you go.
I mean,
so they can complain about us.
This is a skill that we have picked up.
It's an amazing
in
skill.
our advanced ages.
Yes.
So that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.